kind of cup you want? Ah! That doesn't belong there. Outrageous. Sorry, that was really violent. I apologize. But anyway, you want a cappuccino or a latte?
I'll try a latte.
Okay.
No, the cappuccino was awesome.
Mm-hmm. It's not very different. The latte is more similar to the first one you had yesterday. Cappuccino is like the second one.
Yeah. I'll do a latte.
Okay. I gotta order pods today, or we could go on the way up to LA.
That's true.
We go to the store. Yeah, that would not suck. Hey guys. Hold on. What's up? What's up? Hey Amanda, how are you? Come on, make the coffee. Hey Shelly. Morning. Morning everybody. I know it's a little later than we usually do book club, but figured better late than never. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. Hey Jaden. Hey Shelly. What's up? What's up? What's everyone having for their coffee this morning? I'm gonna go put my water on the table so that I don't have too many things to carry. No, I don't want that. You had a... Oh my goodness, Shelly, stop it. That's ridiculous. That's not true. That's not true. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Coffee is disgusting. Oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. Not everybody feels that way. Some of us really love it. Hey, what up, Liz? Guess who's here? Book club time. It's because I washed my face, Amanda. This is a washed face. That's what's up. That's why it looks like this. I know you did. We were just talking about it. I know you did. Yeah. Yeah. What cup am I going to use? I think I'm going to use the kitty cup. No, you know what? In honor of it, I'm going to use the Italian cup. You haven't seen this one yet. This is my cup from Florence. It's got Italian stuff all over it. Oh, hilarious. Oh, hilarious. No, you're not going to trick me into thinking there's a spider. They said, hey, Bartholomew. Apparently that's your name this morning. You've forgone George.
Okay. Hello.
No, crap. No. Oh, God, I got distracted. Oh, God, everything is awful. Distractions are bad. Ah, that was almost really bad. Okay. Wow. I am. This is it. Come on, Liz. You know me better than that. There you go. Enjoy. Hey, Becca. Now my coffee. Sasha, what are you doing? I almost screwed up, but I didn't. No. That was the one. Yeah, happy Mother's Day, Becca. You have so many children. Happy Mother's Day, Liz. And is Renee here? I don't know if Renee's on here. Amanda's a mom, too. Who all are the moms? I feel like there's so many of you that are moms. Hey. To 5. All right, Amanda wins right now. Amanda's got 5. Who has the most kids? Does Amanda have the most kids? Happy Mother's Day. Only one for Addie. That's right. Addie's got 1. Jody has 1. Alicia has one. I try not to go outside on Mother's Day because people always assume I have children because brutal, Shelly. That's brutal. Mom to 2 cats, and all of you human moms are superheroes. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm sure he will, Liz, but he already sent her flowers, so we're all good. You got a reminder to call your mother.
Obviously.
Obviously. I'm trying to, there we go. Okay, now we can go. Oh, that was perfect. Look at that. What a day. What a day. If you want to count number, yeah, you go 14. 14. He's at the table. He's just looking up places to eat food. All right. You guys ready to book club? You have the cutest wardrobe. Ah! Oh, God, that was awful. This is children's clothes. So I don't know if we call that cutest wardrobe or not, but that's children's clothes. Do you see that? I got all the way over here without ever putting you on camera. That's expert camera work. Crushing it. And now you can sit on the couch if you want, because it's only facing this way. All right. We have a special guest for book club. Will you flip the lights if you're not going to sit in there? Thank you. Nice wall, Sasha. Thank you. All right. So wait, do you still have Christmas stockings up? Listen, I will not hear blasphemy against my beautiful pink stockings. They fit the vibe of this room beautifully, and I refuse to take them down. I will not. I will not take them down. You will not convince me. There's no one that can convince me to take those down. They're too good. I moved in the middle of Christmas decorating, and I cannot let them go because spicy. Thank you, Liz. I appreciate that. I also think they're beautiful. I took down all the other Christmas decorations except for the Nutcracker and the, what do you call them? No, she's coming in July. Okay, so no shame, Christmas is my thing. Exactly, Christmas is great. All right, so we're on chapter 45, and we're just gonna do it, right? Is everyone good? We're ready to go? We happy? Guys, John is home, by the way. I didn't realize John got home last Monday. Dude, is it cold? I'm gonna turn off the air. It's freaking freezing over here. So I don't know if you guys know this, but John got home on Monday, so we need to hurry because then we need to, and also, has anyone been writing down questions? Like, I didn't realize John was already home, so we need to like figure our ish out, you know? Yes, this is a shell chair, but y'all, I have sat in this chair for every day of book club since January. This is the exact same chair I sit in for every book club we do. Yes, it is a shell. I am a mermaid. You know this. The couch is also scalloped. You need to call your mom. Fair enough. I'll call my mom in a little bit. Okay. Anyway, start writing down questions because we're going to get John on here probably in a week at the rate we're going. Like we should be done in less than a week. So maybe we can see, can we see the couch? Sure. You can see the couch. Couch. My kids are all losing their mind. All right, bye, Becca. See you later. All right, that's the couch. What book is that? This is Wasteland. It's the second book in the Phoenix cycle. My defense, I barely wake up during book club. Fair enough. That's true. Yeah, Amanda thought she was being slick. She thought she was being slick. They were like, can we see the couch right now? Because they thought you were sitting on the couch. I was like, sure, yeah, here's the couch.
I got what they're trying to do.
Sneaky bitches. It didn't work. Okay, chapter 45. Question, why the Michigan hate? Oh, yeah. Did you write that question down for John? It's a great question. I don't know why he hates Michigan so much. Oh, we can ask him. I have to plan a thing with him. I have to figure out what day we're going to do it. All right. Anyway, let's go. I was a little aggravated when Joshua ushered me into a working elevator for the ride down, and it must have shown on my face because he said,
This is my personal carriage, and as it were, the citizens never get tired, so, stairs are nothing to them. How can anyone look at these things and not think that they're at death's door? I asked, glancing out the glass wall of the elevator at the ruined city. I scanned the skyline of buildings still standing and hoped that I might spy Beck about to do a sneak attack. Beck. I would have slapped my forehead if my hands weren't tied behind my back. The sudden plan was rash and may or may not work, but I had to try something. I turned to face Joshua from my respective corner of the elevator, my hands hidden from view, while I mentally turned on my holotab. Beck, I said, and then coughed into my shoulder once, covering the slight beep that the tab made while it dialed back and finished with, because they don't look like $1 million to me, that's all I'm saying. What they lose in charm and fair skin, they more than make up for in brute strength and being impervious to any form of pain. In short, they're perfect soldiers. I use them soon. I heard a slight click in my head. Jericho, Beck said. Her voice was in my head and only there for me to hear. So, how are you able to call me? She asked. So, why are you taking us to an abandoned stadium to kill us anyway? I asked Joshua. Beck didn't say anything for a few seconds then. After she caught on to what I was doing, she said, What a clever boy you are. Joshua shrugged. That keeps the locals happy while we also do feedings of the snow cats. They haven't eaten in a few weeks, so the entertainment might be shortened. I tried to recall the names and landmarks in the city, trying desperately to give my accomplice the best possible coordinates to our location before it was too late. I've been to British Columbia Place Stadium before, I said conversationally. It's about 8 blocks from here to the east, isn't it? More like 10 blocks to the west, he said. 10 to the west, I repeated for Beck, nodding. Forgive me, it's been a long time since I've been to this city. Yes, Cross told me you aren't exactly from around here, Joshua said, checking his holotab. Your friends will be there shortly. I'll tell Griff to hold off until we get there. Why? Joshua frowned and looked at me like I just asked what color the sky was. Because I'm going to toss you in with them, of course, he said, shaking his head. Honestly, Jericho, try and keep up with my plot, please. Oh, what fun. And incidentally, a perfect time to let Beck know about his plot. Okay, let me see here, I said. You hate Cross because he stabbed you in the back, and now that you have me, you think this is a prized possession of his. So you're going to kill me and all my friends in the arena to fulfill... Wait, what was it filled with again? Snowcats. Right, snowcats. I said nothing. And you're doing this just to rub it in Cross's face? That pretty much covers it? Joshua bobbed his head from side to side. Yeah, pretty much. How very heinous of him, Beck said in my head. I know what building you're in. I'll head west to the stadium and see if I can get eyes on our people. If things get a little too out of hand before you get there, I'll have to intervene. Just try and not let your mouth get you shot. Well, thanks, I said, looking at Joshua, even though the comment was directed at Beck. Now, I can cross getting eaten by a feral mutant cat off my bucket list, I guess. When we reached the bottom floor, we crossed the lobby and left the building, climbing into an armored car parked outside that rumbled to life and took us to the arena. BC Place was a nice stadium back in the day, and even though I was never a fan of sports, I was really hating the new use of this joint. I frowned and thought, how could a football stadium be converted to a gladiator-style coliseum? I mean, wouldn't somebody be able to just, jump a small ledge or head down the stairs to get away? These were comforting thoughts because maybe the radiation that had fried everyone's brains here might be so demented that I could easily escape. But when we rounded the corner and BC Place came into view, I knew my plans were for naught because the stadium seemed to be the only place the city dwellers had decided needed fixing up and had fixed. We're talking hurricane fences surrounding the entire thing with guarded checkpoints, the whole 9 yards. You guys must get loads of visitors, I said dryly when we pulled the shaky armored car through the checkpoint and entered the parking lot of the stadium. Not as many as we'd like, I can assure you, Joshua said, peering out the small window next to him. Though these roadblocks you see aren't for escaped entertainers, but for the snowcats. Dreadfully painful things to get if they're not dealt with properly and contained here. I'm here, Beck told me, and I tried not to sigh in relief. I'm going to circle it once and then try to find our team. Aren't you afraid someone might try an aerial assault on you guys while you're all stacked nice and neat in a football stadium? I asked Joshua. Our ride parked, and Joshua stood while one of his men opened the door for us. Not many people are interested in this place, he said, stepping out onto the pavement with me being pulled out roughly behind him. Although we do get the lone soldier of fortune every now and then that flies above the city for a quick peek. Vancouver's auto defense grid is still online through half the city, so they end up getting shot down before they get too far into time. Auto defense grid, you say? I said too loudly, but I knew Beck hadn't heard what he said because it was too far away from the holotab. Think, Jericho, think. I bet that's, heck on local birds around these parts. I must have been trying too hard or something because Joshua frowned at me from over his shoulder while we were escorted across the parking lot to the main stadium entrance. Actually, yes, he said, stepping onto a broken escalator with me close behind. We never figured out how to turn the grid off, so anything that flies overhead gets a blast from the arc guns stationed throughout the city. What do you know? I said, trying to get Beck's attention with emphasis on that part. Innocent birds shot down because no one in the entire city knows how to flip an accursed switch and turn off the auto defense grids. What a dump! I'm already back on the ground, you idiot, Beck's voice buzzed in my head, annoying the utter crap out of me because I actually was worried about her, and that's why I was stretching my limits. Good job, Jericho. Keep up that kind of good detective work and Mama just might give you a gold star. How was I supposed to, I started saying, but I stopped myself, holding my breath because I knew Joshua was about to turn around and find me out. When he didn't, I let the breath out and finished the climb up the stairs. After reaching the top, the guards escorted us down a long hallway that had a great view of the arena because the glass wall was missing. Gone was the fine green sod of the playing field, and it was replaced with hard dirt. I noticed the smashed cars littered throughout the field, making it look like an enormous paintball course and providing hiding spots so that the game of cat and mouse didn't end too quickly. After one more flight of stairs, we entered the VIP lounge where, afterwards, I was ushered to the front of the room and to the shattered window. I got my first good look at the filled seats of BC Place, packed and jammed with rotting, cheering populace of Vancouver. Man, there was a lot of those ugly dudes. I took my first initial scan of the place and said, "Where are they?" hoping that I sounded like I was looking for my fellow comrades and not, in fact, talking to one right then. "I'm under the field," Beck whispered. "There's 5 guards down here, and I think I just saw Sam and Sloan. Where are the girls?" So, why are you throwing the girls in the ring first? I asked Joshua. Joshua seated himself in the front row and laced his fingers behind his head while lifting one shoulder into a shrug. The citizens haven't had games for weeks now, and they were simply flashier than the other 2. That's going to throw a wrench in my plans, Beck said. Also, Joshua added, nodding to the guards, don't forget that you will be joining them. Looking back, I know now that I was too caught up in trying to help Beck save everyone to worry about myself. I also know that I was too busy in general to notice the large meat hook hanging from the equally large chain above my head that was attached to the larger cable anchored into the wall and trailing all the way down over the audience to the arena floor. Kind of hard thing to miss, I know. But don't worry, because as soon as 4 cackling guards lifted me off my feet and stabbed the huge rusty hook into the back of my right shoulder, I got a good look at it tearing through my flesh on the front side before I was zipping down the cable while dangling over the now laughing cannibals. I think I must have screamed halfway there because Beck tried to ask me something, but I couldn't hear her from over either me or the crowd. When I reached the arena floor, my boots hit first and dragged until I was finally on my stomach, coughing in the dust. "Welcome all!" I heard the orator of the event shout into the megaphone, and the mob went berserk. "Jericho," I thought, and I heard someone call me from behind. Jericho, I thought I heard someone call me from behind nearby. I tried to collapse onto my feet, and the pain hit again. No, messed up. Sorry. I tried to get to my feet, but the pain hit again, full force, and I collapsed. This was bad. There I was, sailing into an arena on a stupid man-sized fishhook, about to die, with my friends, coughing in the radiated dirt pool of my own blood. The fact that Joshua hadn't even bothered to untie my hands from behind my back let me know how long he wanted this match to be. "What is going on?" Beck shouted in my ear. I groaned and miraculously turned over onto my back. "Well?" I said weakly, my breathing becoming rattled in my chest. "The day is still young, but I think I'm about to die." Dun dun dun. Y'all, chapter 46 is only 2 pages. That's not good. That's scary. What did I miss? What happened? What happened, Shelley? That's not true. That's not true. I think I did a very good job. I only messed up twice. They think you're distracting me and that's why I flubbed that line. I don't think that's true. I think that's a lie.
No, I did distract her. I'm sorry, Shelley.
Such a lie. Such a lie. Chapter 46 is only 2 pages, you guys. I'm going to read this chapter right now. What are you doing? You're just looking up restaurants, right? Literally not doing anything. Chapter 46 is called Sybil, and that's scary. I don't know what that means because we haven't met Sybil yet, so I don't know who this is. He's dying, the robot woman said, opening her white eyes. This was not supposed to happen, Stargazer. The older partisan looked frail, even in his translucent state. "'Tis a barren and brutal road towards his crusade, Sybil," he said, turning towards the opening in the great hall that they were in. They had both been watching Jericho when he'd been threaded like bait on a hook and sent sailing into the arena. "Do not forget that this has happened before, child." "The crusade has happened before," Sybil corrected him sternly. "All roads leading to it are fraught with peril, as they always have been, but this, right now, has not happened before. What's different this time?" Her blind eyes searched for something that normal eyes could not see. "You have missed nothing, Sybil," Stargazer finally said before taking a shallow breath. It was meant to be a deep breath, but his energy was waning. Indeed, the fact that his being had not returned to the cortex already after his death in Flagstaff had been shocking to him. Also to his replacement. "Will he listen to me?" Sybil asked. "You have been partisan to the first Paladin since the beginning." What? What is happening right now? I thought Stargazer died, you guys. Am I losing it? This will be the first time in a timeline without you, and I've not even been able to contact him after Las Vegas. You will do fine, Sybil. Stargazer smiled, feeling himself slipping. The Cortex calls me. Keep the Paladin on his course. Sybil was still connected to Jericho's dimension after Stargazer melted into the air, watching the terrible scene of Jericho hitting the dust in the arena and crying out as his comrades attempted to get him to his feet and tend to his wounds. After hesitating, Sybil spoke to the empty air around her. He's not a Paladin yet, and unless he stumbles upon a miracle, he's not ever going to be. I don't know what just happened, but I think Stargazer's going to get reincarnated. I think that's what they're trying to say is happening here. So, Paladins throughout time. Suspicious? Suspicious? Chapter 47. Jericho. Let the games begin! The cry rang out and the cheers followed. Release the hunters! Metal grinded metal, and when I was guessing when what I was guessing was some sort of large gate that I couldn't see began opening, and then I was surrounded by women on their knees. My God, Blue said when she saw my new piercing. We have to get that out now. She barely touched the jagged point, and I gritted my teeth from the pain. Leave it, Red said, grabbing my feet. Quick, let's get him in the car. I screamed when they lifted me, and I may or may not have blacked out for a second or two while they half dragged me and half carried me to the nearest burned-out car. Stop! I shouted, and we collapsed into the dust with me leaning against a rusted vehicle. Jericho, we have cats about to swarm us. Don't waste time on me then, I told her. If I was already going to die, I wasn't going to take anyone with me. Pick him back up, Red commanded, and I laid my hand on hers, and she stopped long enough to look at me. I can't save the rogues anymore, Red. You're better for them than I am. Please, just leave me. We all heard the first roar/hiss of the other side of the death pit. Go! I tried again, shifting slightly and biting back the blinding agony that accompanied the slight position change. No, Piper said, pulling a knife out of her boots and standing. I am not going to lose you again. Piper! I tried to shout when she ran out of sight. Beck, where are you? Blue shouted into her holotab. My, but you people are dramatic, we all heard Beck echo into our tabs. I had to grab a few things from the dark, wet cave, so cut me some slack. Piper, Merry Christmas. And then a white battlesuit landed almost 10 feet away from us. I could only hold 2, so I didn't get Blue's, Beck added, and Red's Raptor 6 landed close to where Piper was already getting into her armor. In seconds, the bright white suit hissed shut, and Piper got to her feet while grabbing the hilt of the red sword, demagnetizing it from her backplate. Her face mask hadn't closed yet, and the pandemonium around us seemed to stop while we shared one last look at each other. I'll be right back, she said, and then she was gone. Give him Helheim, Piper, I muttered, and then I let my head fall back into the car behind me and closed my eyes. The audience had begun screaming foul play when the suits appeared, so I knew whatever we were going to do, it had to be done fast. Blue was still sitting next to me, and she looked scared out of her mind. Can't you get my suit? She asked Beck. No, I can't, was the answer. It took me forever to get those, but hold tight, Beck added. I'm coming in. In less than 10 seconds, Beck landed close to us in a crouch, sending dust flying around and making the already wild crowd gasp at her wings. You two are on your own for now, Beck said to Piper and Red. I'm going to get Blue and the invalid out of here. That's so mean. Hey, Brian, what's up? Good morning. Beck is so mean to him. Where are we keeping the others? Piper tabbed in. Just below the arena, Beck said, kneeling beside me and making a face at the hook in my shoulder. There's a service exit on your right that's barricaded. Blast through it and make a left. You can't miss it. There'll also be people in the big cage. You shouldn't have any doubts. Also, Piper? What? Piper grunted over the holotab, sounding like she was otherwise engaged and not in the mood for a chat. Archimedes is with them, Beck said. Oh, snap. Piper didn't respond immediately, and it could have had to do with her fighting off huge snowcats. I'm on it, she said finally. Look, I can take both of you, but it's not going to be easy because now someone decided to go fishing, Beck told us while shaking her head at me before the ground exploded around us from bullet spray. What? Blue shouted, grabbing my arm while she and Beck dragged me to the back end of the car. I rolled my head onto the right and caught a glimpse of the cat fighting on. Cat fight, get it? Piper was leaping and bounding better than any of the enormous things that resembled snow leopards, hacking away with her greatsword, while Red tried to hold a perimeter with every weapon that she had. The first time I'd seen a Raptor 6 was with Chloe 6 years ago, and I got a chance to pilot it. Mine wasn't weaponized, Chloe had explained, so I didn't get a chance to find out how much of a punch they packed. The model had been designed for gun nuts, she also told me. Red showed me just how powerful the older suits and their guns were, but as hard as she tried, they were just too many ghouls with guns all around us. Okay, let's get awkward, shall we? Beck muttered, pulling me and smashing my aching body against hers. Come on, Blue. Time to make Jericho a sandwich. I hate you, I wheezed out, but since my mouth was now in the general vicinity of her ear, she heard it and smiled. Blue did as she was told, and she and Beck grabbed onto each other's arms with me in the middle. Use that good arm if it still works, were the last words that Beck said as she hauled us into the smoke-filled air, and just to make things even more uncomfortable, she wrapped her legs around my waist for a better hold. Where are we going? Blue screamed against the wind, and then she noticed that we were heading to another part of the city and not away from it. To catch a new ride, Beck answered, and in less than half a minute, we landed in front of what looked like a huge machine shop. The streets were empty due to everyone attending our celebratory execution. Stay put, Beck said, kicking through the tall double doors and entering the shop. Like we were going to go anywhere, I mumbled, my head being cradled in Blue's lap. I noticed that she looked a little distraught, so I decided to lighten the mood by saying, Hey, how's your day going? Because I have an iron hook stabbed through my chest. I don't understand, she said, her eyes blackened on the pavement while she looked slightly ahead. Your blood is self-sustained energy source, and it doesn't run out. Exposure to radiation can't be what's making this not work. We'll have it figured out later, I lied. Right now, let's just let Beck attempt to save us. Stop worrying, Beck said in my ear while crashing through the wall of the very open doors in the large armored, something that she'd hijacked. Was the door too easy? Blue asked in annoyance, getting me to my feet and putting my good arm over her shoulders. Well, everyone else is being dramatic, so I thought I'd join in, Beck said, opening the side door and helping Blue get me inside. Better strap him in somehow because it's about to get rough, she said, heading back to the driver's seat, while I tried not to scream in agony while Blue cinched my seat harness around me. I'm sorry, Blue said in tears. I can't remove this until we're away from this place. At least I think that's what she said. Hard to say because Beck floored it, and in that time, with the engine of the roar, everything was drowned out around me. Get up top, she said to Blue through our tabs. Use the gun when I say. It wasn't easy because of all the hard turns and bumps, but Beck was throwing at her, but Blue was able to climb the short access ladder to the mounted turret. When she was finally seated in the dome, she asked, "What am I aiming for?" Beck switched gears then, and my rolling head stuck to the back of my seat. You're headed for the side of the arena. It won't penetrate on the first shot, but it'll weaken it enough for us to break through. I'm glad someone's feeling confident, a random voice rang out in our ears. Archimedes, Beck said conversationally like she just walked into him on the street. Glad to see you weren't eaten. Aim for the south side entrance, Ark told her. Piper and the woman Sam called Red came and freed us now, so that'll give us just enough of a way out. It's the only small barricade, so it shouldn't be a problem. I'm almost there, Beck told him, putting the transport on 2 wheels in a wild turn. Blue? Yeah, I see it, Blue confirmed, and I heard the whirling of the axis as she moved the gun slightly to the left. Get down, she ordered to the people that we were about to bust out before firing off her shot. We all heard the explosion through our holotabs, and Beck asked, Geez, how close were you? After a few coughs, Ark answered, Too close. Probably could have planned that better, not gonna lie. Wait, is he American? I mused to no one in particular. I guess Mother Russia hasn't wiped us all out. Who is that? Ark asked to someone close to him. Long story, I heard Piper say before she cursed, and I heard gunfire. Anytime now, Beck. We're here, Beck said, slamming on the brakes, and I cried out once more in pain because the stupid harness smashed against the stupid hook in my stupid shoulder. This whole thing was just stupid. Bullets pinged off the side of the transport, and Blue turned the cannon. Well, here's a present for you, you bleeding crocs, she said, growling, firing rounds overhead of our crew and then into the horde, closing in around them. Then the side door opened, and I rolled my head onto the side to see the smiling face of Sam. Bloody good shot, Blue, he said as he clambered into the armored car. The others were close behind him while he frowned at them and he said, Hey, Jerry? You got a little something in your arm there, friend. What? Oh, this? I said, nodding with my eyes closed. Yeah, I saw it and I decided I couldn't live without it, so I just picked it up. Sam smiled at that and was no doubt about to say something equally as witty, but never got the chance because 2 stray bullets found their way through the doorway and into the big man's back. Sloane screamed when he crumbled to the floor before anyone had time to react. Red blocked the doorway in her large suit and shouted, Go! Beck cursed and hit the gas, tearing us away from the firefight. We cannot leave her, Blue pleaded with Beck while Piper pulled the door shut. You have a patient now, Doc, Beck told her. Red's in armor. She'll get out no problem. Sam's face was already paling. His breath was more rapid. Sam, I said, not really sure what I was addressing him for, while Piper, being the only one strong enough in her battle suit to carry him. She turned him on his side and turned his face toward me so that Blue could look at his wound. He watched me for seconds, his eyes becoming slower as they blinked and his eyelids heavy. I knew my friend was dying. And then he smiled at me. Hey, look at it this way, Jerry, he said weakly. With me out of the way, the ladies might actually settle for you, mate. You're going to be fine, buddy, I told him. I don't want the girl anyway. Too much drama. He chuckled and coughed, still smiling, his eyes closed. That they are, my friend. Don't sleep, Sam, I said quickly, glancing at Blue while she sat back on her haunches and tried to wipe the sweat off her forehead with her elbow. Her hands were covered in Sam's blood. And then she looked at me and shook her head slightly, a tear slipping down her cheek. I couldn't stand it. Unbuckling my harness, I went to my knees in the rumbling car and laid a hand on the big man's chest. Hey, wake up, dude, I said, shaking and wincing from the pain in my movement. I'm still alive, so you can't die yet, remember? His eyes barely flickered open. I'm sorry, mate, he managed to get out, grasping at my hand. Looks like you're going to be needing a new friend. His breathing stopped and his eyes were unfocused, and then he was gone. No, Sloane shouted, her small hands fretfully flying to her wild, unkempt hair. She shook her head fast. He can't die. Someone fix him. Blue's head had drooped. Her shoulders were shaking while she placed a bloodied hand on Sam's leg. Piper tried to console Sloane, but the little girl would have none of it and ducked around her, running to me and grabbing my bad arm. You, she said quickly while I tried not to scream in agony. You're the one who can save him. Shock him or something. My powers aren't working, I told her. Well, then make them start working. If I could do that, we wouldn't be in this mess. Seeing that I was a lost cause, she dropped down on her knees and grabbed Sam's lifeless shoulder, shaking it violently. Stop being dumb, she shouted. It's just bullets, you stupid. No one had the energy to stop the little girl, and after a minute, Sloane crumbled onto Sam's body and resumed her sobbing. The armored car stopped suddenly with a small lurch, and Beck climbed out of the driver's seat. Blue, try and ping our location to your sister, Beck said, noticing the spectacle. Blue exited the car and tried to call Red. Piper went with her, leaving Beck with me and Sloane. I was still on my knees next to Sam's body when I barely heard Sloane ask into the wind, "Who's going to get me more chocolate now?" And that did it for me. Without much effort, I got to my wobbly feet and lurched for the door. Where are you going? Beck asked. Back to the city, I said, pulling the door open with my good arm. I've had it with this damn stupid quest. Why? She asked, stepping towards me. You should ask everyone else risking their lives for me, I said, anger seeping to the surface. I'm not worth anything at all anymore, Beck. Sam should have used me as a body shield. At least that way I could have actually accomplished something. Sam, along with the rest of us, knew the risk that this little road trip had before we began, Beck said, matching my tone and crossing her arms. But we all came with you anyway, and we all had our own reasons for going. We weren't just coming to keep you safe. I was a superhero then. That's not what... Look at me, I said, meeting her gaze and feeling lightheaded from standing. It's all gone, Beck. Everything is gone. It's not like he jumped in front of gunfire for you, Beck countered. We were all running and all getting shot at, if you didn't notice. I shook my head and stepped out of the car onto the ground. Just forget it, I said. Vancouver was a long way off, and I knew that I wouldn't make it on foot, but I guess it didn't matter. I was either going to die in the arena or die before I got there. Let's be friends until the day we die, Sam had told me once. At least this way we were both going to go on the same day. I'd walked only around 50 feet or so when something exploded with a blinding flash just in front of me, and I was thrown back into the dirt. Jericho! Piper shouted when she saw me getting blown back. What was that anyway? A grenade? A mini nuke? I'm guessing. I don't know. I hadn't walked far enough away to merit any attention from Piper or Blue, who had been trying to contact Red. What? I groaned, trying to roll onto my side and failing. Piper, in her armor, ended up lifting me to my feet like a rag doll before glancing at what had knocked me down. I was still a little dazed and couldn't exactly focus, but strangely enough, what I thought looked like... It's just a person, Piper said, frowning. Get over here, Blue. Just get out of there, Blue was saying when she stopped beside us, sighing. She's on the outskirts. She's not out of the woods yet. Who is that? Piper asked her, pointing. Blue saw the body frozen. Where did that come from? It just landed in front of me like an atom bomb, I grumbled, walking towards the body and trying not to stagger. The light, I mused to myself, sinking to my knees beside the man who was face down in the black dust. I've seen that before. And then I noticed the shape of the guy. Geez, but he was messed up. Like, really, really messed up. His right leg was completely gone, and his left arm was bent the wrong way, and there was a large hole punched completely through his chest. Are you still breathing, dude? I asked, trying and failing to roll him onto his back. Blue got down next to me, and Piper, who seemed to be the muscle of our trio, squatted in her smaller battlesuit and turned the lifeless man over, exposing his face to us. I don't know who I'd been expecting, what with the semi-explosion of brilliance caused by the unbridled slash in time. I guess I'd known from the get-go that it could only be one person, and I was right. Blue covered her mouth to contain a scream, and Piper even shrank back a few steps in shock while I was oddly calm about it. Well, I was about as calm as I could have been given the circumstances, because it was me. Where am I asked. Oh my god, I thought it was Stargazer. It's not Stargazer, you guys. Well, not me, but him, the other me. Gosh, this is going to be confusing. So I'm going to call the other... Sorry. Oh, God. Okay, the other me. Gosh, this is going to be confusing. So I'm going to call the me from the future by his name. Where am I? Jericho asked, his eyes looking confused and unfocused. Blue removed her hands to say something, but shook her head at me, grasping at Jericho's fluttering hand in mine and almost gasping when I saw the remains of what could only be a torn apart gauntlet of time barely hanging on his burnt forearm. You're right here. When? Where are we? 3 days, he said, coughing, and I saw blood in his mouth. Where? I asked. Anchorage. Who? Look, forget the stupid code, Jericho said, as loud as he could, which wasn't much, and he gripped my hand, focusing on me for the first time. Sam? He died a few minutes ago. God, no, Jericho muttered, closing his eyes for a second before saying, Red's on her way back, but she won't make it. Tell Blue I'm sorry. What the heck is happening right now? What? Blue was on her feet in seconds, cueing her holotab. Red? She asked quickly. Please get back now. Who else dies? I asked angrily. Why did you even... It doesn't matter, Jericho said, looking at me one last time before rolling his eyes back into his head. No! I shouted, grabbing his shoulders and shaking him hard. Why did you come back here? When Jericho didn't respond, I tried Sloane's trick of slapping me hard in the face, which caused a small moan from him, and I think I heard a whisper. What? I said, hunching over and putting my ear close to his mouth. Don't. He was dying. I was dying. Don't fight it. And then he was gone. I'm sorry, mates. Red suddenly chimed in onto all of our holotabs. There's just too many of them. Blue was crying now. Red, you kill those crocs and get back here right now. Jericho's grip vanished and his hand slipped from mine. This was too much. If I don't stop them, they'll be coming for you guys, Red said, and we heard gunfire. Even if I made it back, it wouldn't matter. Archimedes picked this time to climb out of the armored car, followed by Beck. Why have we stopped? He asked. We can't stay here. We'll figure something else out, Blue pleaded with her sister, ignoring Ark. Just come back. No, Red said. I'm going to self-destruct in my Raptor 6 and give you guys a head start. Red, no, enough, Blue, she said. And Jericho? I was still staring down at my body in a state of shock, but I roused long enough to say, yeah? Don't die, and please take care of my little sister. Stop, Blue shouted as we heard the boom, and Red's tab was wrought with static. Blue shrieked and collapsed onto the ground, her head in her hands, while she screamed. Beck grabbed her, ignoring Blue's flailing, and told Piper, we have to go. Nodding, the Viking woman stepped closer to me and laid a hand on my shoulder. Come on, she said. Thanks for nothing, I said to my future body, and I felt Piper's armored hand slip around me. You just showed up in time to see your friends die again, genius. You're so stupid. You're not stupid, Jericho, Piper said, picking me up and walking me over to the armored car, and I don't believe that you're going to start acting that way in 3 days. What the heck is happening, you guys? I'm confused. I don't think my brain can take much more of this. He sent us on a wild ride. I think we have to ask him what the heck he was thinking. I don't know what kind of questions you guys have written down, but my question is, what? Outrageous. By the way, when do you guys want to do that with him? Should I ask him to do it like a week from Monday at night? What do you think? Or like maybe Sunday night? He and Rochelle usually like to do nighttime ones. I think we'll be finished before that, but I don't know, maybe we can do Thursday. Let's see how many more chapters there are actually before we make a decision. We're on 330. We have 100 pages. We only have 100 pages. That's not going to take us the whole week. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we ask him to do it Thursday night. Something like that. We'll definitely be done by then. I don't know. I'll talk to him. I will talk to him. Oh my gosh, another Zoe. Hi, Zoe. What book is that? It's very interesting. It's Wasteland. It's the second book in the Phoenix Cycle, but read the other one first, you know? Read Gauntlet first. Or you can catch up on YouTube, whatever you need. All right, see you guys later. We're gonna get food. My stomach is starting to grumble as usual. Thanks, Chelsea. I'll see you all later. Bye, guys.